Yo, what is going on today, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today is potentially the last Smite 1 patch that we will ever see. As far as I know, this is the planned to be last patch, and all it is a little bonus patch to kind of hold us over until Smite 2 drops. And you know, it's crazy how far Smite's come, and now we're getting Smite 2. The game is changing a lot, but I'm excited. I'm very much excited for Smite 2. Very excited to finish out this last Smite 1 patch notes that we will ever see. Yeah, 11.8 bonus updates. Let's go. Live August 20th. We have a Boomba Spear nerf, but it's really just a nerf to the bonus structure damage. Getting abused in like Chronos jungle, Mercury solo jungle, Kali, gods like that are able to abuse the Boomba Spear late game and just backdoor and ignore team fights. It happens a lot in my games. So happy to see this gone. Very good news. Horrific Emblem. Actually, we got a triple Horrific Emblem nerf. Decrease duration from 5 to 4 seconds and remove the ability. Well, I feel like that's worded weird. Remove the ability to remove active shields. So this has anti-shield and it also has destroys partial shields. So now it's removing the ability to remove active shields. So they basically want Horrific Emblem to be reduced damage, reduced movement speed, and reduced auto attack speed. But the active or the shield reduction is going to be a Sundering Spear thing now. So if you want to remove shields, Sundering Spear is the way to go. Not Horrific anymore. Gods of Vamana bug fix. No big change here, but rank 5 of his Umbrella Rang has now the increased projectile speed instead of not having it. Weird bug, but yep. Bacchus. I see this god kind of dominating a lot. He doesn't really seem like he's doing much in my games, but everybody tells me that they think this god is OP. He does too much damage. He wins laning phases, and he's a very good laning phase god, to be fair. So they're dropping the damage on Belly Flop and Belch of the Gods a little bit. Good nerf. Should hurt his laning phase. It doesn't really hurt too much in like his mid and late game. Still same CC, same tankiness. Just slightly less damage. Next one is Danab Burrow, which is a little surprising because this doesn't strike me as a god that's OP, but it seems like he's doing a little bit too much damage and a little too much living or engaging or map traversal with his Fool's Gold, which is his 1. The damage scaling is now down from 80% to 75%. And Uproarious Rocket, his ultimate, is now a 100-second cooldown instead of 90 seconds. Now getting to the buffs, a few, actually more than a few, a lot of Yamoja buffs. Omi is now going from 6, 11, 16. You now get the extra Omi at 5, 10, and 15. Bouncing Bubble, the 1, now does 5 extra base damage. And Moonstrike, the stun part of the 1, also now has an extra 5 damage on both the outer and the interior circles. So good buff to Yamoja's damage, and the spam ability she gets comes online a little bit quicker. Next up, Ishtar. Rolling Thunder gets a cooldown decrease from 15 is now 15 down to 13. Jolt, the arrow damage is now 120% of your basic attack power instead of 110%. And lastly, Blades of Retribution, 45% up to 50% scaling. Just a damage buff, cooldown buff, scaling buff, like a lot of buffs for Ishtar here. She is pretty bad. Like I don't really see Ishtar much, and if I do, she doesn't seem that impactful. So I think this is a good buff to her. Next up, Tiamat. I hate this god. Don't think she needs a buff, but she's getting a buff. Primordial Onslaught is getting an extra 5% damage scaling. Consume is getting an extra 5% damage scaling. And Outburst is getting an extra 5% damage scaling. So Tiamat, pretty decent buff to her late game. Nothing really to her early or mid game, but late game, she's just going to be doing a lot more damage. Next up, Manan Brigitte. Surprising she is getting a buff because I think she's actually really good. Madame Fangs is going from 13 down to 11 seconds. It's now 11 seconds at all ranks. And Explosion of Souls is getting a massive buff to its early game damage and a slight buff to her late game damage. This is just the base damage. It's going from 160 to 3. It used to be 160 to 360. It is now 190 to 370. So pretty decent buff for Manan. And then our last buff of Smite 1 is going to Amatarasu. Heavenly Reflection is now going to be a scaling down in cooldown ability. Instead of 12 seconds, it is going to be 12 seconds down to 10 seconds. And Dazzling Offensive is going from 80 to 260 damage. Is now going to be 100 to 260 damage. So nice little buffs for Amaterasu. But that is it. Smite 1 patches done for probably good. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Smite's ending in a good state? Do you enjoy playing Smite? Are you guys interested to see where Smite 1 goes with this patch? Obviously, a lot of their stuff is going to be in Smite 2 as it is coming out in under a week. But Smite 1, there's going to be a lot of people still playing this, at least for a little bit, so I'm interested in what they think. If you guys aren't switching over to Smite 2 and you're just sticking on Smite 1, what are you guys thinking? Are you guys worried about how fast the servers are going to die? Are you guys worried about the content that's not coming out anymore? I'm actually just curious what you guys are thinking. So if you guys could, comment down below, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.